Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a powerful story from African folklore that you might find surprisingly familiar. It's a tale that teaches a timeless lesson, but with a unique cultural twist. Forget the boy who cried wolf. Today we're talking about the boy who cried fire. In a small, close-knit village surrounded by dry grasslands, there lived a young boy named Kofi. Kofi was known for his playful spirit, but he had a mischievous streak that often got him into trouble. His main chore was to watch over the village's herd of goats, guiding them to fresh pastures each day. It was an important job, but to Kofi, it was incredibly boring. The sun would beat down, the goats would munch quietly, and nothing exciting ever happened. One sweltering afternoon, an idea sparked in Kofi's mind. He wanted to shake things up, to see some action. He took a deep breath and screamed at the top of his lungs, "Fire! Fire! The grasslands are on fire!" Instantly, the peaceful village erupted into chaos. Men and women dropped their tools, grabbed buckets of water, and raced towards the pastures, their faces etched with panic. When they arrived, they found Kofi rolling on the ground, laughing hysterically. There was no fire, just a bored boy and a herd of confused goats. The villagers were furious. An elder scolded him, "Kofi, fire is no laughing matter. A false alarm wastes our time and energy, and one day, a real danger might be ignored." Kofi apologized, but deep down, he didn't really see the harm. A few weeks later, boredom struck again. The thrill of his last prank was a fond memory, and Kofi decided to relive it. Once more, he shouted, "Fire! The village is burning!" This time, the villagers were a bit more hesitant. They remembered his last trick. Still, the risk of a real fire was too great to ignore. They grabbed their buckets and ran, only to find Kofi laughing even harder than before. The anger this time was much greater. The village chief warned him sternly, "You have cried fire twice when there was none. Do not do this again. You are playing with the safety of our entire community." Kofi felt a pang of guilt, but the attention, even if it was negative, was exciting. Then one afternoon, as Kofi was lazily watching the goats, he noticed something in the distance. A thin wisp of smoke curling up towards the sky. At first, he thought it was just a dust devil. But the smoke grew thicker and darker, and he could smell the faint, acrid scent of burning grass. A strong wind was fanning the flames, pushing a wall of fire directly towards the village. Real panic seized him. This was real. He scrambled to his feet and ran, screaming with all his might, "Fire! Fire! A real fire is coming! Help us!" He yelled until his throat was raw, his voice filled with genuine terror. But in the village, no one moved. They heard his cries, but they just shook their heads. "It's just Kofi again," one said. "He won't fool us a third time," said another. They went about their business, ignoring his desperate pleas. The fire swept through the pasture with terrifying speed, scattering the goats and engulfing everything in its path. Kofi had to run for his life, leaving the herd behind. By the time the villagers finally saw the smoke and realized the danger was real, it was too late. The fire had consumed the best grazing land and scattered their precious livestock. The village was saved, but their livelihood was devastated. Kofi stood before the somber villagers, tears streaming down his face. He had finally learned his lesson, but at a terrible cost. The story of the boy who cried fire became a legend in that village, a stark reminder that if you always tell lies, no one will believe you when you finally tell the truth. Our words have power, and our credibility, once lost, is incredibly hard to regain. Thank you so much for listening to this powerful tale today. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more folklore from around the world. See you next time.